Okay, so what turns you on?
What peels your banana?
What waxes a dolphin?
What tickles your pickle? There's so many different ways to ask the same question, and that's because this is a very important question, and the answer is what really matters.
So hands up, who loves what they do around here? Wow, it's impressive. I kind of expected that on fastBREAK, but you guys are well ahead of where the rest of the country seems to be. Let's look at some stats.
A recent Gallup poll that we've been sort of turned on by shows that there's a 62% of the working population in Australia is disengaged from what they do for a job, and 20% is actively hate their job, which is a very frightening set of statistics because the average person spends more time at work in their whole life than doing any other single activity.
So 80% seems to like what they do. We're just wondering, what do these people know what the rest of us doesn't? And trying to get an answer to that question made us want to start a thing called Trip Your Trigger. Trip Your Trigger is a video blog around people sharing stories about doing what you love. And it's about defining your own success and building a life around something that you care about.
So we set about gathering stories from people first locally, and we went to the States and got a lot of information there from different people who we felt, well, not we felt, but who we asked, and they're obviously doing jobs that they love and making a real life out of it. No one terribly, extraordinary, just extraordinary in that they've really built on what they love and made a career out of it. So we asked them different questions, like, can you describe your journey? Can you, tell us why you're different? What it is you do? Why do you love it? And here's what they had to say.
I love understanding how people think. I love to see people connect as human beings.
You've got to do what you really care about.
Really making the best use of our time here on this planet.
Trying to reconnect with that inner voice and really listen to it.
It was time to do something completely radical.
To line up what we do with our value system.
Always question everything.
Take some risk.
Follow your instincts.
Focus on that end goal and go for it.
But if you're not taking the time and you push it aside, then you just put up with what's going on a day-to-day basis. You never really get there. So don't just look what you're giving up. Look what you're really gaining.
Trusting that if I followed that, I would find something, or something would find me.
I always like to say that everyone's the John Coltrane of something.
Don't get caught up in doing what other people tell you to do. Just do what you want to do.
Build your life according to that necessity. Your life, even into its most indifferent and slightest hour, must be a sign of that urge and a testimony to it. I don't want to die wondering.
So it's a very diverse group of people, obviously, but there was definitely some things that they had in common. One of the things that really struck us that no one mentioned money as a driver. But money is important, so they were very smart about how to use the resources, how to use their time, and how to use what they have available to them. And the next point that they really had in common was focus. Now, focus not as the corporate buzzword, but focus as in simply taking some time out to really think about what you're going to do with your life. Because I don't think the educational system allows for that. So it's really something that you need to initiate yourself. At least that's what these people do.
And other points that they mentioned were values. Everybody had them, everybody mentioned them, everybody lived by them. And sacrifices. Everybody made them. And one of the biggest sacrifices was of status, but that wasn't, obviously the end of the world. And the final one that everybody mentioned was fear. And they talked very strongly about fear. Everybody had it, felt it, lived by it day to day. It was a very real thing that they all experienced. The difference was that they didn't allow the fear to rule them and take over their life. They actually used the fear as a propulsion, sort of a motivator, which really pushed them forward. So that was encouraging.
So we're about to go live with the site. It would be wonderful if you guys could visit us on our site or talk to us, because if you want to get involved, you know anyone who inspired you in this respect, we would love to hear about it. Thank you.